Jai Sri Ramchandi. This is the book, The Tribes and Castes of Central Provinces of India, where rvrussell has written about Kolta caste. The Tribes and Castes of Central Provinces of India by rvrussell of the Indian Civil Service Superintendent of Anthropology, Central Provinces. Assisted by Rai Bahadur Hiralal, Extra Assistant Commissioner, published under the orders of the Central Provinces Administration in 4 volumes. It is volume 3rd, 1916. Reproduced by Soini H. Panwar. Kulta, page number 431. Origin and traditions. Kolta, kulita, kulta. An agricultural caste of the Samaj district and the adjoining area states. In 191, the central provinces contained 1,27,000 Koltas out of 1,32,000 in India. But since the transfer of Sambalpur, the headquarters of the caste, belong to Bihar and Odisha, and only 36,000 remain in the central provinces. In Assam, more than 2 lakhs of persons were enumerated under the caste name of Kalita in 1901, but in spite of all the resemblance of the name, the Kalitas apparently have no connection with the Oriya country, while the Koltas know nothing of a section of their caste in Assam. The Koltas of Sambalpur say that they immigrated from both states, which they regard as their ancestral home, and a member of their caste formerly held the position of Diwan of the state. According to one of their legends, their first ancestors were born from the livings of food of the legendary Raja Janak of Mithila or Tirhut, whose daughter Sita married King Rama of Ajodhya, the hero of the Ramayana. Some Koltas went with Sita to Ajodhya and were employed as water bearers in the royal household. When Rama was banished, they accompanied with his wanderings and were permitted to settle in the Oriya country at the request of the Raghunathya Brahmins, who wanted cultivators to till the soil. Another legend is that once upon a time, when Ram was wandering in the forest of Sambalpur, he met 3 brothers and asked them to draw water for him. They first brought water in a clean brass pot, and he was called Sudh, means good mannered. The second made a cup of leaves and drew water from a well with a rope. He was called Dumal. From Dorimal, a coil of rope. The third brought water only in a hollow gourd, and he was named Kulta. From Kurita, bad mannered. The story serves to show that the Quiltas, Sooth and Dumals acknowledged some connection, and in the Sambalpur district they will take food together at festivals. That this degree of intimacy may simplify have arisen from their common callings of agriculture and may be noticed among the cultivating caste elsewhere as the Kirars, Gujars, and Raghuvanshis in Hosangabad. The most probable theory of the origin of the Koltas is that they are an offshoot of the great Chosa caste, the principal cultivating caste of the Oriya community, corresponding to the Kurmis and Kunbis in Hindustan and the Deccan. Several of their family names are identical with those of the Chosas, and maybe those Chosas who took the growing Kulta as a favorite pulse in Sambalpur, just as the Santara Kurmis are so named from their growing sun hemp, and the Elia, Banias and Kunbis from the L or Indian matter. The hypothesis derives some support from the fact that the Koltas have no subcastes and the formation of the caste may be therefore be supposed to have occurred at a comparatively recent period. Exogamous group. The Koltas have both family names and gotras and exogamous sections or bargarhs. The gotras are generally named after animals or other objects as Dip, Bacha, Hasti, Bharadwaj, and so on. Members of the Bacha Gotra must not yoke a young bullock to the plough for the first time, but must get this done by somebody else. The names of the burghers are generally derived from villages or from offices or titles. In one or two cases, they show the admission of members of other castes. Thus, the Rawats Burgha are the descendants of Rawat who was in the service of the Raja of Sambalpur. The Raja had brought him up from infancy and wishing to make him a Kulta, married him to a Kulta girl despite the protests of the caste. The ancestor of the Hinmonia Bhoi had a mistress of the Kond tribe who left his some property and is still worshipped in the family. The number of gotras is smaller than that of the burghers, and some gotras as the nag or cobra, the tortoise or the people tree is common to many burghers. Marriage is forbidden between members of the same burgher and between first cousins of the father's side. To have the same gotra is no bar to marriage. Marriage. Girls should be wedded before maturity as among most of the Uriya castes, and if no suitable husband is forthcoming, a nominal marriage is sometimes arranged with an old man, and the girl is afterwards deposed of as a widow. The boy's father makes the proposal of the marriage, and if this is accepted, the following informal ceremony takes place. He goes to the girl's village, accompanied by some friends and taking a quantity of gur, yani कि raw sugar, and staying at some other house, sends a messenger known as Jalangia to the girl's father, imitating that he has a request to make. The girl's father pretends not to know what it is. He replies that if he has anything to say, the elders of the village should be called to hear it. They assemble, and the girl's father informs them that a stranger from another village has come to ask something to him, and as he is ignorant of its purport, he has asked them do him the favor of being present. The boy's father then opens a parable saying that he was carried down a river in flood and saved himself by grasping a tree on the bank. The girl's father replies that the roots of a riverside tree are weak, and he fears that the tree itself would go down in the flood. The boy's father replies that In that case, he would be content to perish with the tree. Thereupon the caste priest places a knot and some shared rice cooked at Jagannath temple in the hands of the parties, who stand together facing the company, and the girl's father says he has no objection to giving his daughter in marriage, provided that she may not be abnormal if she should subsequently become disfigured. The knot is broken and distributed to all present in ratification of the agreement. After this, other visits and a formal interchange of presents take place prior to the marriage. Proper. This is performed with a customary ceremonial of the Uriya caste. The marriage altar is made of earth brought from outside the village by 7 married women. Branches of the mahua tree are placed on the altar, and after the conclusion of the marriage are thrown into a tank. The women also take a jar of water to a tank and emptying it fill the jar with the tank water. They go round to 7 houses and each empty and refill the jar with water from the house. The water finally brought back is used for bathing the bride and bridegroom, and is believed to protect them from all supernatural dangers. An image of the family totem made from powdered rice is anointed with oil and turmeric and worshipped daily while the marriage is in progress. If the boy or girl is the eldest child, the parents go through a mock marriage ceremony, which is the child is not allowed to see. When the couple are brought into the marriage set, they throw 7 handfuls of rice mixed with moog and salt on each other. The priest ties the hands of the couple with thread spun by virgins, and the relatives then pour water over the knot. The bride's brother comes up and unites the knot and gives the bridegroom a blow on the back. This is meant to show his anger at being deprived of his sister. He is given a piece of cloth and goes away. Presents are made to the pair, and the women throw rice on them. They are then taken inside the house and set to gamble with cowries. If the bridegroom wins, he promises to ornament to the bride. If she wins, she promises to serve him. The boy then asks her to sit with him on a bench, and she at first refuses and agrees when he promises her other presents. Next day, the bride's mother sings the cheeks of the bridegroom with battle caps heated over a lamp, and he throws cow dung and rice over the couple to protect them from evil. The party takes its departure for the bridegroom's village, and on arrival, their sisters hold a cloth over the door of the house and will not let the couple to till they are given a present. The bridegroom then shoots an arrow at an image of a monkey or a deer made powdered rice, which is brought back, cooked and eaten. The bride goes home in a day or two, and the Bondapana ceremony is performed when she finally departs to live with her husband on arrival at maturity. The Koltas allow widow marriage, but the husband has a pay a sum of about Rs 100 to the caste couple, the bulk of which is expended each festing. Divorce may be effected in the presence of the caste communities. Religion. The caste worship the goddess Ramchandi, whose principal shrine is at Sarsara in both states. In order to establish a local Ramchandi, a handful of earth must be brought from her shrine at Sarsara and made into a representation of the goddess. Some consider that Ramchandi is the personification of Mother Earth, and the Koltas will not swayed by the earth. They worship the plough in the month of Shravan, washing it with water and milk and applying sandal paste with offerings of flowers and food. The Pujotia festival is observed in Kumar for the well-being of a son. On this occasion, barren filled with water and a living fish is placed in it. The woman sits by the hole holding her cloth spread out, and if the fish is struggling jumps into her cloth, it is held to be prognosticate the birth of a son. They caste worship their family gods and totems on the 10th day of Bhadra, Kartik and Magh, which are called the pure months. They employ Brahmins for religious ceremonies. Every man has a guru who is a Bairagi, and he must be initiated by his guru before he is allowed to marry. The caste both burn and bury the dead. They eat flesh and fish, but generally abstain from liquid and the flesh of unclean animals, though in some places they are known to eat rats and crocodiles, and also the livings of Brahmins. Brahmins will take water from Kulta, and their social standing is equal to that of the good agricultural castes. Occupation. The Koltas are skilled cultivators and have the usual characteristic belonging to the cultivating castes of frugality, industry, hunger for length, and readiness to resort to any degree of litigation rather than relinquish a supposed right to it. They strongly appreciate the advantages of irrigation and show considerable public spirit in constructing tanks which will benefit the lands to their tenants as well as their own. Nevertheless, they are not popular, probably because they are generally more prosperous than their neighbors. The rising of the Khons of Kalahandi in 1882 was caused by their disconnect at being outset from their lands by the Koltas. The Rajas of Kalahandi had imported a number of Kulta cultivators, and this speedily got the Kon headmen and riots into their debt and possessed themselves of all the best land in the Kon villages. In May 1882, the Kons rose and slaughtered more than 80 Kultas, while 300 more were besieged in the village of Norla. The cones appearing with portions of the scalp and hair of the murdered victims hanging to their boughs. On the arrival of a body of police which had been summoned by Vijagapatnam, they dispersed and the outbreak was soon afterwards suppressed. 7 of the ringleaders being arrested, tried, and hanged by the political officer. A settlement was made of the grievances of the counts and tranquility was restored.